Tiny Epic Pirates by Scott Alms from Gamelyn Games. Box. Inside box. Rulebook. Expansion. Search tokens. Action tokens. Metal coins. Surefire tokens. Deckhand and captains. Treasure chests and legend markers. Bag. Goods cubes. Boats. Boat. Merchant boats. Another boat. Anchor spots. Sails for the boats. Dice. 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 And dice. Crew members. First we have captains. Then we have the crew members. Merchant ships. And then player boards. And all the map tiles. And market. Components. So this is the quick, high-level, not fully comprehensive how to play for Tiny Epic Pirates. Couple of caveats. A, this is a deluxe edition, so some of these components might look a little different. B, my ocean is not set up properly. Usually it's in a 4x4 grid. I condensed it down for this quick how to play and to have room for illustrative purposes. So, the main goal of the game is to bury your 3 treasure chests. You do this by collecting gold to put them out on the map. So, on your turn, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to move your captain around either one spot or use deckhands to skip spots. You'll then move on the board and then take the designated action. After that action, if your captain or any of your crew member have the simple action you took, you'll then do that action as well. So, the different actions. You have this little hand. You'll look over here, and if you are in a spot with the hand and you have that color good on your ship, you'll trade it for the current value it is on this board. I don't currently have any goods out there, but they'll be out there. Next up, you can hire a crew member. You can choose one of the 3 here, or you can spend a gold to wipe the board and draw, and then choose one of those 3. Next up, you have the swords. You will plunder. You will go, if you're on a spot with the dual swords, you'll go in this bag, you'll shake it up, and you'll take the number. So this is 1, and over here is 2. And then there's 4 different colors. The spyglass is if you end on a spot with the spyglass, you'll flip it over. This is immediately gain a good. That's get 2 gold. This you can use later to bypass the storm. Because when you move, if you go through a storm, you'll jostle a deckhand, which I'll get to in right now. Because the canon is you will battle. So you can either battle these merchant ships, or you can battle another player if they're on the board. Battling works the same way. You're going to look at your legendary level. You're going to roll how many dice are under your cannon. In this instance, 2. So you'll roll the 2 dice, a 5 and a 6, and that is not good with my captain. I wanted a 1, 2, or 3. If you have a person on cannons, though, you automatically do a hit. If you lose the battle, you get jostled, which means you have to take one of these guys from down here and put it over and repair. And then you will get a surefire token, which is a little cannon token, which means on a future turn you can turn a surefire token in to change a die to any face. Now, like I said, you're going to move your captain at least one spot. Say I want to go to a crew member. I will take a deckhand from down here. I can put it there, and I skip over that spot. If I wanted to get to the cannon here, I could grab 2 and skip over. So in this instance, if I did get jostled, though, because I have no one down here, I take them from up here. Now, the next spot is an anchor. This is the only spot that you can skip for free if you want. However, if you do an anchor and land on an anchor, that is, you take your ship, and after you move, if you are in a spot with the anchor symbol, you hide in the cove. Because what happens is whenever you cross this line here, after you do your actions for the turn, you will first get gold for extorting. So however meeples you have here, you'll get that much gold. And then your opponent will move the merchant ship one towards the dock it wants to go, the other merchant ship, and then the navy is going to move towards you based on how many treasures you have buried. We'll go 1, 2. If they get to you and you're not hiding in a cove, you automatically lose the battle and all of your deckhands go because you got fully jostled. If you're hiding in a cove, you don't get attacked. First person to put out the 3 treasure chests on the spots wins. In the case of a tie, where everyone's done it, then it's whoever's higher on the legendary track, and then it's gold, and then I believe it's just a blanket tie. But there are quite a few tiebreakers. So that is, again, how to play. Tiny Epic Pirates from Gamelyn Games. What are my thoughts on this game? Well, it's really cool. Pick up, deliver. Fantastic production. The way that you choose the actions. Going around the captain's wheel, and you can only go 1 unless you use your deckhands. And then you get those deckhands back by getting around and getting them again, or you can hide in the cove and get them back. So that dual aspect there. Trying to build your crew so you can maximize your actions. You use these actions over here to do this cool stuff, but then bring your crew in and then possibly set yourself up for other actions later on. And that is a really cool aspect of the game. So the kind of planning ahead, how can I get this done really quick? How can I set myself up for next turn and hope that market doesn't change? So again, as with most games we play on this channel, this was played 2 players between the bride and myself. So I can't really speak to the 3 and 4 player aspect. The 2-player aspect, not much conflict between us. We attacked each other a couple times. Why? Because we wanted to go up on the legend track. And that legend track is very helpful and very fun to go up. It does go up goes up quicker in the 2-player game because once you hit those level 4 merchant ships, it just keeps going up. So actually what we found was we ended up just focusing on 1 merchant ship. Once that one got to 4, we just kept zwigging around and trying to get to that merchant ship, knock it out, get that extra legend rating. So that was kind of a funny aspect. It was like, oh, I guess we're going after the green ship this time because the green ship has the level 4. Occasionally we would get the other one up to a 4, but only if we really wanted the cargo in it. But by maneuvering and getting to the different plunders, we were fine. We rarely ever had to tackle. So, my couple of gripes with this game. Because it is not a perfect game. No game is perfect. Except Castles of Burgundy. No, not even that game. But, Tiny Epic Pirates. So, what I feel they could have tried done, I know they are very constrained by the size of this box. And trust me, it is very hard to fit anything else. There's the instruction books. It's very hard to fit anything else in this box. I would have liked somehow to have a player aid of the turn structure. After a few turns, we did get it, but it would still be nice to kind of have it there as a teaching aid for someone who can't like really get it down. I know the bride did have some issues, like even though it is iconography, it had a hard time clicking for where the swords you need to plunder. Um, I mean, yes, you could say, well, that's a player issue, but I'm sure she's not the only player that has an issue with that. It was always nice to just have that little reminder there of this is what you need to do on your turn. This is where you go on your turn. You choose your action, and then you move, and then you check your crew, and then you see if you move this line. Just kind of that turn structure. 2, I have big fat fingers. Trying to maneuver those ships and get the cargo cubes in and out with the sails was a pain. After the first time we played it, I just ditched the sails. Bry, she still used them. She has little fingers and little nails. She was able to get them. But that's what you get when you go a tiny epic game. However, I do feel the epicness of this game did make up for those little tiny ships. And I mean, it was an easy fix. Just don't use the sails. Those are really an accoutrement, if you will. I mean, it makes the ships look cool. Yeah, but hey, I like messing with the cubes. So, I will say, we did really like this game. We are still needing to play with the expansion to see how because that adds a new resource. I believe it's called Crimson Silver. That can be used as a wild when you're trading stuff, and it adds a different level of actions when you do certain actions when you're by a floating fortress, and the floating fortress triggers the navy more, so we still have to play with that. But base game, Tiny Epic Pirates, we did like. We've played it quite a few times now. She wants to play it again. I know the first time we played it, I won based on tiebreaker of the legend track. Next time we played it, she was like 2 turns away from being able to play her last try before I got it. But it's just because I was able to really like swoop in. I had my ship ready with 3 resources that sold at the highest. I was right there, so I was able to sell and then jump and use all my deck hands to move up. I would say also the legend track we never really got too high on it. I think the one game I was like 3rd or 4th level. It really needs to be a focus if you really want to push that up. So if you want to kind of delay the end of the game a little bit because you're moving up on that legendary track, granted that also does help you a little bit. You move around the map more. You're more likely to win battles. But it is kind of delaying where someone else may be running around getting the gold to plant their treasure. You're running around like blowing up ships and attacking people. So, but like I said, overall, we really liked it. This will definitely be staying on our shelves. Gamelyn Games does a phenomenal job. Scott Alms is definitely becoming one of our favorite designers. When his games come out, we definitely take notice. So, grab this if you can. Until next time, this is the Groom, wearing another funky face on the Merry Merry Meeples. So, comment, like, subscribe, do all that pirate stuff that YouTube likes us to tell you to do. Until next time, ahoy, matey.